If you could live green, would you? I'm Nick Federoff, host of Things Green, where we introduce nuggets of green lifestyle from gardening, upcycling, answering your questions, sustainability, even discussing environmental issues. You can become more confident in making the right decisions for you and your family. So come along as we are Things Green. Okay, so here's the story. Today, I was giving a speech and presentation like I always do at these home shows, and I heard all this animal noise, the sounds that were coming from this place. I said, I have to go here and find out who brought the zoo over here to this place. And I ran into these guys over here. You guys have some pretty wild critters out here, don't you?
Yeah, we do. This is what we love doing, sharing our experience and sharing these animals with the public.
All right. I'm going to say, wow. What is going on right here?
This is a bearded dragon that we rescued, and he's missing his arm. We don't really know the story behind. We assume that it was shared with another bearded dragon, and they maybe amputated it for him. But it's a male. He's very healthy other than that, and eats and everything else, flirts with the other female ones. And
okay, now for the record, I know beards, but I don't see where the bearded part comes on this.
they turn black. The beard right here will turn black when they're...
That's all these little hairs? Right, if I get close, am I going to get bit?
Maybe. Anything with the mouth will bite.
Wow, so that would be the beard part.
Mm-hmm. They turn black when they're scared or really sick, or like when they're flirting with the females, it'll turn black and they'll bob their heads.
Okay, so the question is, I still don't know where I'm at. What do you guys do?
We rescue reptiles that need new homes or that have been mistreated. They're sick, so we rehabilitate, and then we do our best to rehome them to somebody who can take good care of them.
So how do you rehabilitate a critter that doesn't have an arm?
We make one. No, I'm just kidding. I actually handle the sicker ones, so I just try to make sure they get the treatment they need, the medications, things like that. We can't really do anything about his arm, but we just make sure he can still eat and he can have a quality of life.
Okay, so this thing, does it make noise?
They don't usually make noise.
Okay.
When they're crunching on a dubia roach, they will. But other than that, they don't make any noise.
All right, fair enough. Now, what about these guys behind me? Because they seem to be very noisy animals.
Yes, so tortoises, this guy here, he's an African sulcata. He's 9 years old. Right now, he weighs about 45 to 50 pounds. He'll be 3 times that size, full grown.
No!
And he can live up to 100 years.
And what do you do with them?
You put him out in your large yard. He lives in about an acre and a half. So he keeps the lawn mowed. He keeps the bushes down. He does a perimeter check every day, walks around the property, makes sure nothing's trying to get in there. And then he puts himself to bed at night in his big shed.
Well, it looks like he's been knows that we're talking about him because, man, look at that thing. That is really cool. And what's it called again?
An African spur-thigh tortoise or sulcata tortoise.
Okay, so I see that he's got some relatives hanging around on this side,
Yeah.
and these guys don't look as intimidating as him.
No, so these guys, they're kind of a hybrid land-water turtle. It's called a 3-toed box turtle. And what they live on land, they like to burrow and dig into soil, but they also need access to water 24 hours a day. They'll get in their water dishes and they'll soak, they'll drink water. It gets out of the elements, so they'll soak themselves in the water and then they'll dig a little burrow to go get out of the sunlight.
And people actually use these for pets.
Yes, they make great pets.
So-
Very low maintenance.
Okay, so how does this become a rescue animal?
A lot of these I actually got from people who were moving out of the state of California. They didn't want to take them with them across country. They didn't want to have a long trip with them and put them through it. So I'm actually part of the California Turtle and Tortoise Club as well. So they contact the club, and then the members of the club will take in the turtles and tortoises that need.
They have an actual club for this.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I had no idea. What do you guys do in a club?
It's a bunch of turtle and tortoise nerds, and we sit around and talk about our turtles. The club's been around for 60 years, so we're doing something right.
Yeah, you are. All right, so I see that we have a different kind of shell, and then when we come over here, we got some pretty psychedelic things happening with this one, especially one of them that's way over there.
Yeah, that's Gucci. He is a leopard tortoise. They come from South Africa originally. And so we have a couple of different species in there. This is kind of our mixed batch. We have redfoot tortoises, a leopard tortoise, a smaller sulcata tortoise. He can be as big as that guy in about 10 years.
Wow.
And then the little one in the corner over there, that one's a marginated tortoise.
Marginated.
Yeah.
Now I see that they have a bunch of different kind of food in here. What are we looking at?
They like spring mix and the vegetables, and pretty much I like to put them in the garden. They eat flowers, they like hibiscus, things like that. So
What about the critter that you're holding?
this one likes the dubia roaches, and they eat the same spring mix that the others eat. Vegetables too. Don't want to do too much fruit because it's too sweet, but they do eat some fruit. And the roaches and the worms, and we don't do crickets really because crickets are like giving them a bag of chips. So they're just...
So the ones next to here, we have Stephen Moore.
Yes.
Are these related to these?
So there is a larger leopard tortoise in there. He's a bigger version of the little guy Gucci here. The other two are called Herman's tortoises. Kind of a more on the desert side, less tropical than like the box turtles. So they like it more of a dry, arid environment. Most of their diet is grass, weeds, and hay.
Okay, so how long do you normally hang on to these things before somebody actually adopts them?
Well, I hang on to those because they're mine.
Oh, all right.
But it just depends. We don't just give them to people when they want to adopt them. We want to fill them out so we don't get them back.
Okay, so I got to ask you something here. So we hear the stories about these people who become crazy cat ladies and all that, and you sounded very possessive just now over these turtles. Are you like a crazy turtle lady?
I'm getting there. I have 5 right now. I have 5.
Wow, are there any kind of rules for cities on how many turtles you're allowed?
No, not on tortoises. In general, the ones that there is a restriction on are the California desert tortoise. Those guys you actually have to have a permit to own.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's a native species to California. They live out in our deserts in the wild. So to own them and possess them, you have to have a permit that's issued by Fish and Game.
Okay. How do you know what one of those turtles look like when you come across it?
She tells me. I'm learning about... I'm
Wait,
sorry.
you're the crazy turtle lady,
No,
and she's going to tell... Oh, you
Yeah.
are.
Well, I got her into it.
I got the special ones. The ones
By the way, for the record, they are childhood chums. That's why they...
4th grade.
Fourth grade. There you go. There you go.
We complete each other. We do. Her boyfriend don't appreciate it, but
Okay, so you started saying.
I keep like the special ones like that we don't want to adopt out that are like kind of expensive in real life, you know, like Gucci over there. And I just got the sulcata a couple days ago. Someone found it in their trash can in Upland.
No.
And so they brought it out to me. I'm in Riverside, and we're going to keep it a couple weeks to see if it gets claimed. And if no one claims it, then I don't know, we may adopt it out or we may keep it a while. We want to make sure it's healthy anyways.
If it's in a trash can, chances are...
He was dumped.
Yeah, it was dumb and do that. Okay, so she said a very interesting word. She said, if it's expensive. So, are these critters expensive?
They can be. The leopard tortoises will be more expensive. Unfortunately, the ones that get the biggest, which is the sulcata tortoise, pet stores sell them for $60.
Okay.
But they don't educate.
At that size?
They're this big. and
No
they're
way.
cute. So we like to have our smaller ones and put them next to him so we can say, yeah, this is cute, but this is what it's going to be.
Wow. $60 people will cough up for that?
Yeah.
Now, when they buy them from you guys, are they paying those prices as well?
No, we don't sell
those
anything.
options.
We adopt. So we're a nonprofit, so we get donations to the rescue as a fee to adopt the turtles, tortoises, or the lizards that they might be interested in.
Okay, so I've been saying the word turtle the whole time. I've been hearing the word tortoise from you guys. What's the difference?
A turtle swims in water and has webbed feet. A tortoise lives on land and has individual toes.
Okay, so the ones that we saw over there that's in that pan of water, those would be...
Those are technically turtles.
Technically
They're
turtles.
box turtles, so they're a hybrid land-water mix.
All right, so let's kind of move on over here. And we have more turtles in here?
Yes, these
Or
are
what?
baby Russian tortoises.
Baby ones.
They can't be adopted out until they're 4 inches. Their shell is 4 inches in length, so they're just for display. They're only about 8 months old.
You can see them in there? You able to see them? All right, so these are little itty bitty babies, huh? Oh, you can open. Oh, we can open this up. Let's see that. Let's get a picture of those guys. That's what I want to see. All right, no, that's okay. We could see them from here. We're good. All right, that's pretty cool. So we've got camera dude, and he's got to come around and see some of the other things that we got going on over here. Oh.
That's my side over there.
Oh, that's your side way over there. Okay, we'll make our way over there in a couple of minutes. So what do we have? Wait a minute. Where's that crazy lady I saw that's holding a thing? Look, you're not going to believe this. I don't know why she's doing it. I'm creeping out. I saw she was sitting there on the chair, and she was holding this thing, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that thing's going to unhitch its jaws and then just have her for lunch or something like that.
He's actually doing like a little education right now.
Oh.
On the eavesdrop with him.
Oh, let's see. Can we do that? Can we eavesdrop on the conversation? Maybe we can come around over here and see what she's doing. All right, let's see what's happening over here.
Let people know what we're doing and to find good homes for them once we get them in good health and make sure they're ready to go. Now, some of these, like this one here, this is one of our ambassadors to the Reptile Rescue. So we can show the different ones. So this one and this one are ambassadors, where these guys are up for adoption. These are your normal ball pythons.
So I got to ask you, I'm afraid for you, but for holding that thing, aren't you a little intimidated?
I am.
She's not a snake person.
I have
Oh, you're not a snake person.
I am not a snake person.
At all.
Okay, so everybody thinks, everybody says that these things are slimy, are they?
No.
No, so
No.
smooth
It's
and
like
soft. It's amazing.
Like cleanly shaved lake. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you don't put them there.
Well, don't get too close to that beard of yours and you'll be fine.
Wow. Okay, now look at your arms turning all kinds of colors and all kinds of stuff. Obviously, it's squeezing on you.
No, not really. I
No?
mean, he's just hanging on. See, there's no squeezing.
So
Though they are constrictors, they just.
what's the habitat for these?
You want to have them in a large enclosure, like 2 by 2 by 4, is usually about good size for them. The bigger the snake, of course, the bigger the enclosure you want. Always bigger is better.
So the one that's cutting off his circulation over here, we're gonna have to amputate his arm right now. The question is that going to get bigger?
This one's not going to get too much bigger. He's already 2 years old. It's called an ivory ball python.
Oh, it's not an albino thing.
No, albinos would be this one here. You see this one has jet black eyes?
Okay.
Okay, so that shows you that there's no albino in them. Thank you so much. Where this one here, as you can see, has the pink red eyes,
Ooh.
which shows the albino gene.
Okay, I got to do this. Should I?
Yes.
Should I? No.
Be my guest. Look at you. Good job. That's right. Conquer your fears.
Oh my goodness! Look at this thing. Why is it licking its lips when it looks at me? It's sniffing the.
Right.
Okay, so am I supposed to be squeezing this thing to hold
No,
it?
don't squeeze it. He just
That's
wraps
it.
around you. Yeah, conquer your fears.
Conquer your fears.
Right.
Okay. Well, I've never felt the teeth of these things before, but that's interesting.
You don't want to feel the teeth, but you know what? These guys don't really. I've never been bit by these guys. You know?
Right?
Because we handle them enough that they know, that we're not going to harm them.
Okay.
And the only reason why they strike and bite is either because you think you're food or you're mistreating it.
All right. I see no mistreating coming from me on this thing.
Nope.
Wow. That's
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Okay. Talking to the crazy snake lady over here. I'm not kidding. She was sitting over here and petting the thing. I'm like, what is wrong with her? Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Oh, that was too cute. Let me get out of this area. Okay. So what do we have going on in here? Anything else? We got. Holy smokes! What is that?
This is Kitty. He's a green iguana. Green iguanas come from Central America and the tropical areas of South America. They're tree dwellers, so they like to be up high. Usually you pick him up and he tries to get on top of my head because I'm not very tall. But he's super friendly.
Okay, so I see some of these hair scale thingamajiggies. Are they all supposed to be? Why is it a rescue? I mean, is it kind of whacked out for some reason?
Yeah, he's a rescue because he wasn't in the best condition. He was turned into a shelter, and the shelters aren't equipped to keep reptiles for very long. He wants your mic.
I think she wants to say something.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do they make sounds?
They do not make sounds. They'll bob their head. They will scratch a lot. But great part about these guys, this thing on the side of their heads, here, it gives the illusion that that's an eye. And it gives his head the illusion that it's a lot bigger than it is.
Oh.
So that's part of the defense that they use out in the wild is they look at this, they turn their head sideways, and they think that that's an eye. So the predator's more likely to turn around.
So what
These
kind of
spikes also make it hard to be swallowed.
Okay. So what kind of predators would be after them?
The larger birds will pick them out of trees. Any land-dwelling mammals that would want to get a hold of them for their meat. But humans are probably the biggest predator that they have, unfortunately.
Does anybody give these things pedicures?
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, I cut their nails.
Really?
His have just been cut, but they'll grow from this point out, and this is where their quick stops. So you cut from the quick down to cut off the points.
Okay. And you do that because that quip, you called it? That's the
Quick. That's what
quick.
will start bleeding, like
Okay,
on
that's what
dogs
it
and
does.
cats. Same thing on reptiles.
All right.
If you don't cut them down, then you have arms that look like this.
Ah, you were shish kebab quite a bit.
Yes.
Look,
We all have them.
everybody's all messed up over here. There for the reason why I'm wearing long sleeves today.
Right. You're the smart one.
Yeah, and I've got my posse over here ready to pull me out of this area, if anything. So that's pretty wild. So let me ask you something. I see some other activity going on in here. Is that thing? Does it want to jump out and eat these?
Nope, he's a vegetarian.
Just like me. Look at that. So I can take him out for dinner if I wanted to.
Yeah, take him to your
All right.
favorite
Hold him?
restaurant.
You're kidding. Ready? I can hold him? All right, we're going to give this a try. All right, hold my microphone.
Put him right here on your shoulder. You're tall, so he'll want to go up. There you go.
Oh my
He'll
goodness.
get comfy.
How do you know that this thing's not going to, go bathroom on me or something?
We don't.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
We've all had it once in a while.
Okay.
He likes it because you're tall, so he's just going to perch right up there.
Sure he is.
See how long his tail is, and that's
Yeah.
another good
I ain't going to look how long his tail is. Now, is this thing, because it has a long tail, does it hang on its branches like that?
No,
Like
their
a possum?
tails aren't prehensile. Prehensile tails are what hang onto branches. This is strictly a defense mechanism. They use it to whip their predators.
Okay.
He has lost his tail.
Oh, and it grew
so
back.
This is fresh regrow from here down.
So how long did it take that thing to grow back?
It's probably a full tail now.
Wow.
But it was cut off or dropped at this point, and so it's grown back.
Okay. Well, for the record, I'm ready to faint. Get this guy off of
Come here, Cody.
Come here, kitty. Ugh. Okay, is that a different one?
Yeah, his like stubby tail. I call him Stubbs. But
Is
it's really
that
cute.
what you have?
The same. They're both the same. They're both males, I believe, but that one's got 4 arms and this one's got 3.
So far I'm hearing a lot of he, and then there are male ones. Are there any female
We
animals?
have this one is a female right here.
Oh, that's one in here.
Yeah, this is a female bearded dragon.
Okay.
She's fat. Her name is Cheese, but she is up for adoption. Sorry, the tank is dirty, but she is up for adoption. She seems This one was brought to us in a paper bag.
Wow.
To her. Yeah.
All right, this is pretty wild.
So the family just didn't pay attention to it anymore. The kids didn't want it anymore, so they looked for a rescue.
So is this an eyeball like that other one?
This is actually the ear.
Oh,
But
that's
they
the
do
ear.
have an eyeball right there.
Yeah, they have, it's a heat sensor and a shadow sensor on top of their heads, because any predator coming over the top, they can sense that it's coming, so they know to turn their heads.
Wow. That's the itty bitty one?
This is a leopard gecko.
Okay.
These are the ones that will drop their tail if they're scared. They'll leave it for their predator and it still moves.
Wow.
And then they take off and it does grow back. It's not as pretty, but it will grow back.
Wow, this is really cool. Okay, so what I want to do now, because I didn't realize we're going to spend so much time over here scaring the pants off of me, but we got a doctor over here, a real bona fide doctor. Now, no disrespect over here, but are you one of these kind of crazy hat people that wear this kind of stuff in honor of the animals, or did you lose a bet?
No, this is just what I'm like.
This
is a typical day in the life of me.
Okay.
Pretty normal outfit. Got to have the Crocs, got to have the hat, the earrings.
So a little bit earlier over there, you kind of scared me because I didn't see anything peeking out of this thing. And then she just takes and she rips it open like it's just natural to do. What do you have here?
So this is a silky bearded dragon. So you may have seen the bearded dragons over in that corner.
Yes.
This is a bearded dragon that we use a lot of times for education because it is a silky, meaning it has no scales. So if you want to feel this,
I'm not going to get bitten, am I?
nope, I promise.
'Cause I don't know if I trust many people that wear hats like that.
I wouldn't trust me all the time either. Please
Okay.
edit that out. So
Yeah,
you can
that
see
does
how-
feel a skinish.
It feels almost like human skin. Or I asked a child one time what it felt like, and he very excitedly said, "It feels like my grandma." So
Okay,
you
so
can.
you're the doctor. You're the
Yeah.
one who, once these come in, you're over here, and your whole concept is to see what their health is like.
Exactly.
You get something like this. What do you look for?
So actually, this is part of why I'm here. Is they just got this lizard in, and because this is a silky, you'll notice that the skin looks a little off. So we've got this big
Oh.
spot here. Part of this is normal shedding, but with the silkies, the shedding happens all the time, and that's not normal. So we have a lot more shedding happening, and we've got this little red patch here where we probably were burned. These guys are very susceptible to burns.
That's what I was going to say. That looks like sunburn to me.
Yeah.
So are you coming in then and trimming that off, or do you leave it and let nature take its course?
A lot of times I'll leave and let nature take its course. I am kind of a picker, so I'll pick the extra skin off that I can without pulling too much. But this will probably treat with a topical medication to help this burn. You'll also notice if I can wrap him here, his tail is a little off. So right at the end of our tail, we have kind of a scab there. So same thing, that probably was a burn. They're just very susceptible to that. So we've got this spot, this spot, this spot.
So in our final moments together, are there any times when a rescue comes in and it's like, we got to put the animal down?
Unfortunately, yes. And that's part of why we're out here, is educating the importance of knowing how to take care of your animal, because we do sometimes get animals that are too far gone for us to save, and it's unfair to let them suffer. So it's a hard part of the job for everyone, for the rescue, for myself, for everyone involved.
Well, I have to tell you this much. The fun part of what we've done over here today is we've met a bunch of people that are absolutely ear-to-ear smiles. You can tell you guys enjoy your jobs. You can tell that you enjoy educating people on what you're doing. And I want to thank you for that, because I'm not a big animal person.
Really?
Yeah, I scare so easily. I'm a chicken. I should be in here. Because I'm the chicken kind of a guy. I've never had one of these things crawl on top of my head before.
Well,
I don't want to.
really good then.
I don't want to do that again. But I appreciate the efforts that you guys are putting into something like this, because they're helpless, and you guys are helping them.
Yep. And for me, that's the fun part of an event like this. I do a lot of pet expos and people are exposed to animals, but an event like this where some people have never even seen a lizard like this or pet a lizard like this, we get to educate them, and it's really cool.
That is so fun. Doc, thank you very much.
So much. It's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. And that's what we could do at the home shows when at the home shows that I give speeches at. These guys are always here. Thanks for joining me on another excursion of Things Green. Our goal is to educate, inform, and entertain so you can become exposed to a green lifestyle inside and outside of the home and community, all on your terms. Join me next time right here as we help you with Things Green.